fall.
It's Demo time!
I've soiled my tunic.
Welcome to Dude Don't Just Lick Stuff. I'm Seth, and my sister Savy and I are hosting this podcast. And Seth, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about what this podcast is?
Yeah, so we're starting an Adventure Time rewatch podcast with a little bit of a twist.
Ooh.
We are making dishes based off of elements that inspire us within the episodes. Now, Seth, can you tell the people what our qualifications are for this?
Making the show?
Making the food.
Oh, absolutely nothing. I can't even remember the last thing I cooked.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're not professional chefs.
Not even amateurs.
No. So the fun of this is going to be that there are going to be a lot of failures or bad biscuits.
And bad biscuits make the baker broke, bro.
Exactly.
So we're going to have a lot of fun doing that.
It's just going to be a silly, goofy time.
Silly goofy time watching a childhood show we watched a lot of episodes of. I won't say all of them.
I have, but...
She has. I went to college.
I also went to college.
But I
rewatched it after college.
Fucking dork. No. Cut that.
We want them to be on our side.
What do you say we just kind of get into this?
Yeah.
Or do you want to catch up? I haven't seen you in a long time.
We haven't seen you in a long time. I don't feel like the audience will care for our banter right away. They might find us annoying to not get to the rewatch content that they're all here for.
All of them. I was going to put a number on it, but I'm too sad.
All two of them.
See, that's what I didn't want to do.
It's okay, our mom will listen. Maybe.
She'll listen when Bacon Pancakes comes out.
When she's on.
Yeah.
She's not really into podcasts.
No. Okay, see, they don't care.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Right?
I literally hear crickets outside your room.
I could hear them saying, move on,
Yeah.
please. So, today's episode, Season 1, Episode 1.
It's the first episode.
Exactly. Slumber Party Panic. I'm just going to, real quick, read the synopsis of this.
Please.
Finn and Princess Bubblegum must protect the Candy Kingdom from a horde of candy zombies they accidentally created without the citizens of the Candy Kingdom finding out.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. That kind of summarizes it.
Yeah, it's a synopsis.
Did you write it or did you find that?
No, I got it off Wikipedia.
I actually have a little piece of trivia for you.
Ooh, okay.
It's actually kind of a quiz. Pop quiz.
Oh, God.
Who are the first two characters after the intro? Who are the first two characters that you see in?
I think it's Jake and Lady, right?
You got it.
Yeah, because I remember watching. I watched it last night.
Yeah, me too. Couple times.
Couple times. There's no snail in this episode, so we know that.
Oh, there isn't?
No.
Okay.
And
I didn't really look for it.
It starts on the second episode.
Okay, that's good. If you guys don't know, let's just tell everyone.
Yeah.
If you don't know, there is like a secret snail kind of hidden in every single episode. Apparently not in this one, but it's just a little guy and he's waving his little snail hand at you.
Yeah, it's
Saying
every
hello.
episode except for the first one.
Right. So I'm glad you noticed it was Jake and Lady waiting for him to start, and he's like, "I'm gonna get you."
Yeah. some interesting undertones there.
Didn't age well. Is Jake canceled 2025?
There's lots of things for Jake to be canceled about.
All right. Well, let's just kind of get into it.
Yeah. I have a couple of notes on like some credit for the people who made the show.
Oh, cool. I didn't do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm just kidding.
So it first aired on April 5th, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
The director...
Sorry.
It was a long time.
As of recording that's 15 years ago.
Almost 15.
Yeah.
Now. The director was Larry Lightleader.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up how to say his name.
Mm-hmm.
The story was by Meriwether Williams and Tom McKeon.
Tom McKeon?
Yeah, it's like Mickey Owen or something, you know. I looked that up too. I heard him say it.
Oh.
I looked up a YouTube video of him saying his name.
That's so extra.
Because I was like, what does that look like, you know?
I mean, I would have just pronounced it. I
was going to say McKeon.
Mm.
Anyways, written and storyboarded by Adam Muto and Elizabeth Ito.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have to look that one up.
Okay. Well, what else you got?
What else you got? I've got
Wrong podcast.
I've got trivia, and there was something on Wikipedia under the title of censorship.
Oh?
Do Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, I do. Sorry, if you want to listen to the story, we're going to talk about censorship.
No, we should do it afterwards.
Why?
Because it references things in the show.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You can even interrupt, like, when we get to that part and be like, actually, he was supposed to say, fuck.
That'd be really funny. Unfortunately, it wasn't censored in the United States.
Oh.
It was censored other places.
Interesting.
I've got data on that.
That's kind of cool. Okay, so we have this first episode. It starts with an aerial it's kind of an aerial shot where it kind of tracks Jake chasing Lady Rainicorn.
Yeah.
And then you hear them have their little exchange. You hear Rainicorn's voice and you're like, what is she speaking? It's Korean, right? Right?
Yeah, this is the first episode, actually, obviously, because it's the first episode, where she speaks Korean. I guess that was one of the trivia things. In the animated short that came out right before this, Lady spoke like a bird language.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess. I don't know.
I haven't actually
I wonder how that'll sound.
I may have seen that. I don't know. But anyway, so then we kind of fall into we hear Princess Bubblegum. What does she say? She says she's doing the decorpsinator serum.
Yeah.
She adds, 3 drops of explosive diarrhea?
Yes, to finish it off. She and Finn are there in the cemetery, and they're trying to resurrect some candy citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that they choose first is old Mr. Cream Puff.
We used to date.
We used to date. Now, Bubblegum is resurrecting her old boyfriend.
Right. Finn sees no red flags in this.
Right. Finn's just like, all right.
In fact, because she's distracting him, I think. I'm putting tinfoil hat on right now.
Oh, yeah?
Because she says, it's like, oh, it's gonna, if it works properly, it's gonna make everyone, like, as young and strong as you. And he gets all excited, he beats his chest, he goes, ah!
Yeah, because he was afraid that they were gonna show up, like, full of worms and stuff. Yeah, like corpses.
Like traditional corpses. Spoiler alert. They do.
Yeah, things don't go as planned. So Bubblegum pours some of the decorpsinator serum onto old Mr. Cream Puff, and he sort of reanimates, but as a zombie. Mm-hmm. And then I don't fully remember what happened.
I know what happens. I just don't know why. He's like, sugar, and he like barfs, and then all of a sudden, and they're like, oh god, something's wrong, and then he jumps off of the table into a giant beaker that she just had laying around,
and it like shakes up and splatters everywhere.
Yeah. Like Vesuvius is on the whole cemetery. First of all, they shouldn't have done it in the cemetery.
Yeah, it should have been more
Seems
controlled.
like a bad idea. Do it in her lab that we know she has.
For someone who's like so into science, you'd think that she would want to control her experiments better.
Control, eliminate the variables.
Exactly. And then
there was a lot of variables.
There's so many variables.
And somehow this gets pinned, but sorry, soapbox moment. This kind of gets pinned on Finn.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. Because he did nothing. He didn't come up with. In fact, he solved everything, and that's a way later issue. And we will get to that. But just remember I said that.
So, obviously, the zombies crave sugar, because why wouldn't they?
They're attracted to the candy.
They're attracted to the candy. So they, Princess Bubblegum and Finn run back to the Candy Kingdom to try to, get the citizens inside so that the zombies don't try to eat them.
Can I just tag something before we get to a little more specifics on first of all, in my notes, they're kind of funny. I put conflict number 1. I said, zombies are attracted to sugar. Citizens are in danger. That's the main meat of the conflict.
Yeah.
But then, give me some sugar, baby.
I hated that.
But then Finn kicks him and says, chew on this.
Yeah.
Get a life. And then, but yeah, like you said, peanut butter. I wrote PB, so just reading as peanut. Princess Bubblegum gets everyone in the castle, like you were saying, and then Finn's thinking oh, she's gonna explain it to everyone. This is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But what does she say instead?
We're gonna have a slumber party.
And he said, "Bitch, what? What about this?"
Right.
He's censored. Is this a censorship?
This is a censorship now.
I was like, no way, really?
No. So PB pulls him to the side and is like, you cannot tell the candy people that, zombies are coming, because when they get scared, they explode.
Right.
And
Same.
My-
By the way.
One of my favorite parts of this episode is the cut to Starchy, where he's like, where he's like out in the cemetery. And I wrote down, with my back turned and my defenses lowered.
He says, Starchy, I wrote, Starchy gets scared and blows up at the mausoleum with his back turned and his defense is lowered.
Yeah, he out loud says, like, I'll just wait here with my back turned and my defense is lowered. And I say that all the time.
With my back turned, my defense is lowered.
And then he gets scared by a zombie and explodes, of course.
Yes, as an immediate payoff to what PB says.
Yes. So then PB makes Finn do a royal promise. Yes. With like little like sparkle zap kind of guys. Which is a promise you can never, ever, ever break.
And he's just like, yeah, I promise, whatever. No, Finn.
A royal promise.
And then he's like, fine, I royal promise to keep this a secret. And then she's about to leave. And he's like, but can I tell Jay? And she shuts the door behind her because she needs to hunker down and solve this equation.
Right. She needs to get in that lab and find an antidote.
Right. And so she's like, keep him distracted. You're fine. And he wants to tell Jake, but, he doesn't know now if he can tell Jake. So and Jake barges in right on cue, and he's about to tell him.
Like, tell me what?
And then he's like, about the outbreak of disaster. Never mind. Let's
yes.
do something else. And I actually just wanted to touch on something beforehand when they are getting into the castle. I wanted to shout out a couple characters. I'm very happy were introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Tree Trunks.
Of course.
Get
your
those
hot buns in there, girl.
And then, of course, Manfred.
What?
Jinx. The Pinata. He comes in quite clutch later. But
Mr. Cupcake.
yeah. Oh god.
And Chocoberry.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And there's Taffy Girl. I don't know if you remember who Taffy Girl is.
Mm-hmm.
She ends up being blindfolds later.
Yes.
I forgot all about her. And
Yeah.
I was wondering where he procured all those blindfolds. Anyway, so Royal Promise, Jake interrupts. He's like, what's going on? I wrote, this is for conflict number 3, because we skipped over number 2, because that was when they blow up.
Yes.
So conflict number 3, Jake senses something's up. And,
Yeah,
and stops
sure
at
does.
nothing to get Finn to budge. So, and my first note right after that is, Mr. Cupcake reveals he is in fact chocolate.
Yes.
They're playing Truth or Dare.
I also wrote that down, except I just put Mr. Cupcake ... Because I was like, I'll remember.
So
this.
let's get talking about how this actually happens. Finn sets up
This
a
is a
game of
children's
truth.
show.
Yeah, honestly, it's silly, but they set up a Truth or Dare where it's a what kind of truth was it? I know it was Saucy Dare. It was like a something truth and a saucy dare.
Yeah, I don't remember what
whatever.
the truth was.
Get in the comments, gang.
If you know, let us know, I guess.
And then Mr. Cupcake then, after he's dared to
Remove his wrapper.
remove his wrapper or whatever.
Yeah, from Chocoberry, I think,
yeah.
right?
I don't know. And then he stands up and he's chocolate.
Yeah, and
Under-
everyone's like, I didn't know he was chocolate.
It's so inappropriate. And he's
Everyone's
all
like
flexing his muscles.
whispering about it, and he's just like wrapperless.
Just fully naked, by the way. And then he then asks Jake. He said, "Truth or dare?"
Yeah, truth or dare, and Jake says
Truth.
and he says chocolate or fudge.
Well, I can't eat chocolate or fudge because I'm a dog and I'll probably die. So neither. I probably butchered the actual quote, but it's close
So
enough.
it's close enough.
So, he kind of escapes that truth, and then
And he asks Finn, truth or dare?
he says dare, because, fool, I'm not letting you get that out of me so
And
easily.
he says, I dare you to tell the truth.
Ah, shit! Is that part of the censor?
Yeah.
Fuck!
And then I believe that's when the zombies start breaking through a little bit. And so Finn tells Jake, oh, it's time for 7 minutes in heaven.
No, they went to Dodge Socks first.
Oh, was that first?
Yeah, because he throws the sock, and then he goes, Old Mr. Cream Puff?
Yeah, that's it.
And you're like, oh shit, he's a dog. Of
Yeah.
course he can smell. He says, Dodge Socks was a bad idea. You and lady, get in the closet. He's like, okay, after the 7 minutes, you're going to tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
Again, kids show.
Not a lot of resistance from him either.
No,
Just
he
like,
was
okay, I'll be back.
horny. Yeah, he was very easily swayed to go.
Yes, very
Hopefully
much so.
just make out. I would assume. Conflict number 4. Zombies are there.
Zombies are there.
In all caps.
That's right. And then Finn starts using furniture
Yes.
to try to blockade, and everyone's like, what game is this?
Well, first, the little dude is like, they're hearing knocking. He's like, doing things I don't understand. Like,
They're getting
then
all
he
nervous.
plays the music, and then he's like,
Dance party.
and then he's talking about Blockado, the game of barricades.
Yes. And everyone starts blockading the entrances and windows.
Yep. And everyone's having a great time. And he's like, this is, and he kind of an aside to himself, like, this is just a temporary solution. I gotta come up with something else.
Yeah, this is not going to last very long.
Hey, Finn!
Manfred, the pinata, he inspires Finn.
Through his convenient appearance, gives him
Yes.
an idea to blindfold everybody and hit the pinata. And to,
But not Manfred.
But Manfred says,
What?
no, not you, Manfred.
Oh, thank goodness.
Thank you. That was pulled straight from the episode. And so then he gets everyone blindfolded and unleashes the zombies.
Thanks to Taffy Girl.
Thanks to Taffy Girl. Shout out Taffy Girl.
Yeah, and then they just start wailing on those zombies.
This
and
is so
eating
disturbing.
their guts.
They're like cannibalized. Like they're just like.
Yeah, because when you hit a pinata,
For sure.
candy comes out, and so they hit the pinatas, quote unquote, and candy spilled out of their guts.
And they're just eating it.
And
Like
they're
that
just
could be
eating
their ancestors. That could have been their dad. Who
their
knows?
neighbor.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
Could have been their dog. Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah, we don't know.
But eventually, that all ceases, and Jake's like, the 7 minutes are up. And he comes out, and he's like, what the hell?
What?
Witnessing this
What happened?
massacre amongst, like a civil war of candy citizens and candy zombies. And he's like, what the hell just happened? And
then Finn just spills the royal promise.
right, like it was nothing. Because he
And
thought
then-
he was in the clear, It's like,
Yeah.
well, the problem's over.
So why does it matter? Well, because he promised.
And he
And
royal promised.
He royal promised, and then time freezes, and everything turns blue.
Jake says, really? And freezes. And yeah, everything's blue. And then Princess is like, what the heck, Finn? You broke a royal promise. You can never do it. Never, ever, never, never. And then the Time Guardians are coming. The royal promise. What was it?
The
Guardians.
Gumball Guardians.
But it was like, I think I wrote it. Yeah, they're the Guardians of the Royal Promise
Yeah,
initially. But anyways, they're gonna punish Finn. And what's their first recommendation?
Trial by fire, and they just like torch near him, and he's like, "That's lame," or "That's
sucks.
stupid."
Oh yeah, you're right. And then he's like, you know what? Because you're friends with the
With the princess.
with the promise breaker.
Yeah.
Oh, right, whatever. We're gonna do a simpler one. Trial by math.
And he's like, mathematical.
Debut of that phrase. Also, I wanted to shout out earlier. We missed algebraic. I wrote that down.
did.
I was after the old Mr. Cream Puff thing.
We did, yeah.
I wrote that down. I was ready to gun it. But anyway.
One of the trivia was this is the first time Finn uses a catchphrase too.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, yeah, it's the first episode, but whatever.
And there's a couple more. I'm gonna after we kind of resolve this, I would just want to read you the notes after.
Absolutely.
But answering math questions, he says mathematical for the first time. It's awesome.
And then Princess Bubblegum was like, Finn, you're terrible at math.
Right. And it comes up initially with this insane formula. Things are moving. There's like graphs going.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy.
And then they said, wait, I have a better one.
2 + 2, solve it or die. He hesitates. Let's be clear.
Finn hesitates and he goes, 4?
I think. Ha 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 ha. Correct.
And then everything gets back to normal.
And then after everything's reset, we get another catchphrase. Do you remember what he says?
I don't. What is he saying?
Slam a cow. That was Tops.
That was Tops.
Who was not good at math? I was all 4. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that probably sounded really bad.
And to quickly wrap it up, what happens at the end?
Well, PB, when she's like, 4, and she gets all excited, and did you notice bubbles come up?
Yeah,
from
that was
her?
cool.
I was like, what is
Because
that?
I don't think we see that ever again.
Never again. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
And 4 was the missing number in her formula, which
She was too smart to see it.
she should have known.
Right, if
Like,
it's 4.
If it's or, like,
It's
maybe...
If it's
Maybe you
for,
would know.
maybe you would fucking know.
If you're this, like, genius.
Right.
Who has her own laboratory.
Right.
Who made the decorpsinator
Who
serum.
made these people?
Who made the people there.
Her reign is a lie. She made all of her subjects.
Well, you know, you gotta start somewhere.
I guess so.
She's their god. Their creator.
But anyway, the answer was 4. She was too smart to see it.
Yeah. And then Jake's like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah. He's like, you should have told me it was a royal promise.
Then I would have left you alone.
Yeah.
You know? And Starchy's back.
Yes. He's gnawing on... Was it Jake's or Finn's leg? I can't remember.
It was Finn's leg, I think. And he's like, hey, Starchy. And he's like,
You're not a zombie anymore.
Yeah, you're not a zombie anymore. He said, I can't help it. And flesh is delicious.
And then come along.
No.
No?
No.
Wasn't the credit?
Oh.
I thought that was it.
No, Finn's holding him. He's like, don't squeeze me,
Oh.
I'll fart.
It's funny because I didn't write that down because I'm like, I'll remember that.
And then, of course, he farts. And
Yeah.
then that's where the credits start. I've got some trivia for you.
Oh, yeah. We didn't cover all the censor stuff and all the
No.
trivia. Yeah.
No, so
Lay it on me, Finn.
I got this information from Wikipedia, as most of the rest of the information.
Of course.
The trivia on here was Princess Bubblegum's laboratory has a miniature version of one of the Gumball Guardians. In
I
the
didn't
background.
see that.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
After I looked up the trivia, I was like, what? And I scrolled through and watched it again.
Sure enough, it was there.
It was there. A zombie Finn can be seen in this episode. I didn't look for this
I
one.
didn't either.
It's not mentioned by any of the characters, and it's not part of the plot.
Huh.
So it's like in the background as like zombies are breaking
So,
in.
yeah, it's not of the zombies breaking in, obviously.
No, but
it's
it's
just
like-
you can see it.
Like mixed in there somewhere.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What implications does that have? Do you
I
think?
don't
Do you think
know.
maybe he's candy?
He's candy? Well, we know he's not, but
Hmm.
he's got flesh.
Huh.
Flesh is delicious.
Apparently. Get in the comments, gang.
When Jake and Lady Rainicorn's time in 7 Minutes in Heaven are up, Jake comes out eating what looks like a jelly donut.
Uh-oh.
He straight up does. I
believe that.
I saw that and I was like, that's weird. And then I read it and I'm like, oh my god.
But what does that imply?
I don't know. Is that code for something that I
Guys-
just don't know?
Chat, is that slang for something?
Are we too sheltered?
I like to think of myself as pretty, I get a lot of those innuendos and whatnot, but I have to think about it.
I think the fact that we're doing an Adventure Time rewatch podcast means we might be sheltered.
Maybe.
Oh, the candy people exploding from fear is inconsistently referenced in later episodes.
Okay.
Basically, like in future ones, they don't explode
Right.
when they're afraid.
Because they get scared a lot, probably. Like, notably the Hug Wolf or whatever.
Yeah, and like when the humans with Susan come.
Right. Yeah, there's plenty of examples.
Yeah, but then like Crunchy is known to explode out of fear in a different episode. So it could be, this is the person on Wikipedia like hypothesizing.
Speculating.
It could be that Princess Bubblegum has largely solved this problem for the candy people via calming exercises such as the one shown in Hot Diggity Doom.
Okay, I don't remember that.
I
We
don't-
haven't gotten there yet. I don't even know that episode by name. Like, what is that?
I don't remember, but I could click the hyperlink, but it'll
Don't do
take me off. Take me off of here. But yeah, and then of course, lastly, this is Finn's first appearance after being renamed from Penn.
Pendleton Ward, self-insert.
Yes, Finn in the short was named Penn.
Interesting. Like 2 N's or 1 N?
One N,
Okay.
just like the
Pendleton Ward.
like a pen, like the writing utensil.
I think it's short for Pendleton Ward.
So imagine
Am I
my
wrong?
surprise.
Okay.
I'm skipping over that. Imagine my surprise when I was scrolling through
Riddle
the
me this.
Wikipedia and there was a title, like a section titled censorship, and it said see the censorship page. And I was like, what? So I clicked on it.
Okay.
And it took me to this episode specifically. Princess Bubblegum mentioning that she used to date Mr. Cream Puff was cut in Australia and the Philippines.
Does it say why?
It does not explain why.
Okay.
Why is
They're
that
not
a
out here.
problem?
They're not out here dating.
Australia? No.
They don't date, dude.
They don't date.
They're just like. Never mind.
So, Finn imagining Princess Bubblegum saying, "You promised you wouldn't freaking tell anyone."
Right.
Remember when he was trying
I mean,
to
that
tell?
one makes sense because freaking.
Yes, it was changed.
But can you imagine it censored?
It said, "You promised you wouldn't tell anyone," is what they censored
they,
it to.
Cut it, kind of.
Yeah, with Cartoon Network in the Philippines and the UK.
What?
As well as the line being completely removed in Australia.
What happened? Like, do they have like more like censorship for like kids specifically? Maybe because like I know but like Bluey's kind of silly.
What's funny though is Bluey gets censored in the US.
Really?
Yeah, like
what's going on?
Well, that's Disney.
It's like Australian propaganda in there.
No, Disney will change some words and stuff, and it's like, why? You know, some of it's slang that's Australian slang.
That's how we learn.
Right, like, come on. But I guess there was one that, like, where I think Bandit the dad, called the kids dingleberries. Yeah. And, like, that means something very different here.
Sure.
So, that was one of them. But the other ones, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
But, like, correct me if I'm wrong, bushwee?
Right.
That sounds Australian as shit. If you don't know what a bushwee is, it's... Apparently, Bandit picked up his kid and held it in a bush and let it go pee. Yeah. And that's a bushwee.
It's when you have to go potty outside.
Right. So they left that in America, in the U.S.
Yeah, but dingleberries was too far.
I guess. I don't know. What else?
But anyways, so those are all the things that were censored, but it shaved 3.6 seconds off, excluding Cartoon Network Philippines and UK. So in Australia, it shaved that off. Got it. Yeah. I just thought that was weird.
Are there any other ones?
No, that's it for this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird. I guess maybe like they're more... Because like I know US in general is like more like sheltered about like a lot of things. Like you'll see in like British TV, there's like a lot more sex stuff that they talk about. And like things where we're like, oh, you're talking about that on TV? Yeah. It's like... Grow up, you prude, but like it's just like interesting, but it's like for the kids it's like don't say frickin', like,
don't say frickin'. Don't mention they used to date someone, right? Because that's for adults
adultsdate.com. Could be a website. I don't want to look it up.
Don't.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Not on my computer. You're not.
Well, this brings us to an interesting point of the podcast.
In which we debut our dishes.
Yeah, I almost forgot. I thought we were going to wrap up because I forgot the whole format of the show. I was about to give it a goodbye. But,
do you want to tell us what yours is?
No.
Or what it's called?
Yeah. It's called Mr. Cupcake's Chocolate Surprise.
Oh, no.
I'll let you think about that.
I don't think I need to think that hard about it.
All right, go on. What's yours? Fair enough.
My dish,
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
It's a little unhinged. So, it's Tree Trunks' hot buns,
Gross.
splattered with decorpsinator syrup.
Jesus.
Like it got spilled on them.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we're gonna come back here in a second. We're gonna take a little break and surprise each other with these dishes for the first time and get our live reactions. So until then,
we'll be back.
Here's some ads. Okay, but for real, bye.
Bye. Okay, I am alone in the room right now because Seth is hiding his food in the other room, so he's going to come in just a second and show me what he's got. What do we got, bud? Oh, they're so cute! What is happening?
Let me get to my mic. Hold on.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
So, explain what's going on.
So, let me
here.
preface this and drop some Seth lore. I did used to work at Cold Stone Creamery, and I did decorate cakes. I swear to God, I was so... Okay.
It's on full display.
So it's going to be posted on the Instagram. You'll see it. Tag yourself. Okay, so I did... So I didn't do all of them, but I just did a few because it was so bad. I went to the store, I bought one thing of like piping for like chocolate frosting. When I was making the thing, it's like funfetti cupcakes, you'll see, And then, but the bottom layer was supposed to be his chocolate base. And
Yeah.
We'll take some pictures of the unwrapped version too, so you can see it.
I'll do this because that was the best face.
Thanks. So you'll see that in its full glory. But what I had to do was I didn't have any chocolate food coloring, so I had to cut the piping thing like really like lower than I wanted to, so more chocolate can come out. And it turned out really like good chocolate wise. It looks great. Like I'm satisfied with the bottom of it. And first of all, they didn't rise enough, and then the piping was too big, so the face details are pretty bad at best.
They're fantastic. Do you like the? Do you like how it looks?
Yeah, I'm taking it on my phone. We got really good, good camera on this guy. That one, it does look kind of sensual though. So like I said, guys, tag yourself. Let me see. Savvy, this one in the background, it has me rolling. That's the one I kept laughing at in the background, and you're like, what is it? What is it? It was that one.
It looks like it's drowning.
It's like, yeah, have you seen those memes where it's like, oh, I'm living my best life. It's like, he's drowning. It's not about him. Okay, let's see. After that unmitigated disaster.
Alright, are you ready for mine?
Yeah, please.
So, again, Tree Trunks is hot bun splattered with decorpsinator serum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I have it in this cute little basket that Tree Trunks
I'm
would
gonna pull it
in.
towards me.
Yeah, so you can get the...
Oh.
So...
Savvy, if I may...
That's why I had to make it really green.
They appear to be rolls.
Yes, they are rolls.
Stuff on it.
Yes, so... I'm gonna tell you what it is. They're Portuguese sweet rolls.
Okay. From scratch, I presume.
From scratch.
Okay.
With an asymmetrical, is what I'm calling it.
Sure.
Rosemary and lime glaze.
Okay, so it's gonna taste better than it looks.
Yes.
Mine might be the opposite. I don't know.
So, the glaze was tricky.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to look too white.
Obviously.
Because
of the
I
consistency.
wanted to make it look like it got splattered.
This is a children's show?
Exactly. So I really went for the green.
Right, for Shrek.
And it looks kind of like it's moldy.
It doesn't look good.
But it tastes good.
It smells good. I can smell it, and it's like wafting to me now.
I haven't tried it with the glaze on.
Sure.
I've got to be honest.
Okay.
Because that's what I was doing in here while you were finishing cooking these.
You were doing the glaze in here?
Like, I had it mixed.
By the way, guys, this is about a 8 by 8. Oh. I was going to say 10 by 10, but I was going to undersell it. But it's a 10 by 10 room with a full-size bed and about a 1.5 deep desk.
And a little card table that we're sitting at.
I got spoiled. I got the computer chair today because I'm the one doing the computer stuff. So that's cool. Very small room.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have a ring light.
That's not yet plugged.
Propped on top of the...
on top of the mattress.
Gotta be honest, guys. Humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings.
It was what I was gonna call my dish originally, and I was just gonna make something completely off topic. Just be like, here, I just want to make food.
For our first episode,
Yeah.
I didn't want to do the topic that we discussed.
Right, I didn't want to do the premise on the first episode. Okay, well, here's what I propose. How about we take a bite?
Yeah. I'm gonna leave that guy for pictures.
For more pictures. You could. Do you want to eat the one with the face? You can. There's plenty without faces.
We can eat one without.
Okay,
face.
cool. I was just saying, like, for more gram opportunities. Obby. Okay, and cheers.
Cheers. Clink.
Clink.
Get this unwrapping sound.
Oh God. Get this. Oh, actually, it's really good.
Yeah, this tastes good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to the store. We got.
Oh, sorry, the store. Yeah.
The store.
Because they're not paying us to say their name. You want a bite?
Not yet.
Okay.
Hold on. Shout out to the grocery store that sold the Funfetti mix to me, because that's actually a gluten-free mix.
Ooh.
Because initially, you want to hear the blunder I had?
Oh, no way.
I was so dumb. I was in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for anything that was like light cake,
Yeah.
There's no excuse for this. I grabbed blueberry muffins. And I got in the... It was after I checked out. And I was like, man! Because it was the only thing that, like, was advertised as, like, it had white. Everything else was, like, chocolate cake and stuff.
That's so funny.
But I wasn't looking at the actual cake mix. Because it says cake and cupcake.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look at that. And I found the funfetti. I'm like, that's fucking perfect.
Yeah, that is
I'm an
perfect.
idiot.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so that's...
So the funfetti is the chocolate?
So it's all of it's funfetti.
Oh.
The piping I used for the face, I just grabbed like I took a big scoop out of the cake mix.
Mm-hmm.
I put it in a separate container, and then I just like squeezed the piping into it to make it chocolate.
Okay, yeah.
So to make it the chocolate bottom.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much all there was to it. I just remember I texted you last night, and like any dietary restrictions, you said, well, mostly try not to do gluten, right?
Yeah.
So
that's why I said don't worry about it, because I had to make these.
and that makes sense now. But then I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll probably just do gluten, whatever. But then I was like, I'm gonna be so cool and be like, this is actually gluten free.
That was very sweet.
I just saw it, I was like, well, it's probably fine, you know.
I will say these rolls are egg free.
Oh, these are not.
Because eggs are hella expensive right now.
Yeah, sorry. I used 3 of yours.
Oh, well, they were not good. So
We'll be right back.
No, I mean,
Deja vu.
they were probably fine, but they're like, we've had them.
Sorry.
We've had them for longer than we probably should.
Oh, that's probably fine.
Because I don't really use eggs except for in like big recipes.
I'm curious how the glaze
It's good.
tastes with it.
I mean, I don't really know if I notice it.
Yeah, well, because I just did kind of like
Oh.
I tried to make it look like it got like thrown on there.
Little Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, so I was trying to do that in here, and I had them already in the basket, so I'm all, like throwing the glaze on it.
This is really good.
This has plant-based eggs, is what I was getting at.
That was the thing I saw in the fridge. It says like eggs from plants or something. I was like, what's that? Anyways, here's the Thanksgiving eggs. Alright, pass me one of those cupcakes.
Yeah.
The faceless ones.
The faceless ones. The ones who haven't had a mother.
Full disclosure, don't really like chocolate.
That's true, huh? Well, you can't. It's not too chocolatey, because it's got a lot of funfetti on
Mostly funfetti. It's just chocolate in color. Honestly, kind of snapped.
Oh yeah, the glaze is super light. I was afraid.
That's good.
Thank you.
I tasted it on the second one. You're like, what does it taste like? I'm like, I actually don't even know. I went back for it. It's pretty good. Hey, this isn't that bad.
It turned out, right?
It looks awful.
But yeah, the glaze, I was concerned about how rosemary and lime would taste. I looked it up. I'm like, is this a thing that people do? It is. But I was worried about it. And the rosemary is actually like super mellow.
That's weird. Rosemary is usually like a very overpowering kind of.
Right? Well, I didn't use a ton.
In my professional opinion.
But it, it has like kind of an earthy sort of feeling, so it like kind of grounds it more.
When it's on chicken, you know.
When it's on chicken, you know. And when limes are involved, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really feel the lime coming through on this. That's sweet. So, what would you rate this on our scales?
Oh, yeah, we made a scale.
For everybody at home, our rating system from worst to best is unacceptable.
Like lemon grab. I mean, if you watch the show, if you haven't, why are you listening to this? Unless you're our parents. Thank you.
Thank you. And then the next level is check, please.
Like as if you're Shelby, the little snail.
The middle.
It's a range of 5. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. The middle tier is nooch, and I was like, why did we write this down? And I forgot that nooch is slang for nutrients, so it's like the most even keel one.
It is nutrients and neutral.
And neutral, exactly. I was like, did we just put nooch because it's neutral or what? Yeah.
Didn't we like? Okay, a little behind the scenes here. Sorry, I know we're talking, but a while ago when we were setting this up, we were like Wikipediaing like terms that they use and like
slang, yeah,
and like seeing slang in there and like seeing how it, it's like as if it's a superlative, kind of see where we reach. Like for like the high tier ones, we had a lot of options.
Oh, so many.
And we had a couple for the bottom of the barrel. But the middle was like impossible.
It was so hard.
And did we find nooch, or
we
did we
didn't just
make it up?
No,
it was for nutrients.
Yeah,
and neutral for us. Like, we kind of
Neutral
equate.
for us.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? That worked out great.
But nooch on the slang term literally just says nutrients.
That's so
I was
funny.
like, that's the most
Like,
neutral you can get.
This is nutrients.
Yeah, that's so neutral.
All right, what's the next one?
Tops Blueby.
Tops Blueby.
And then
You'd think that'd be on top, but
you would think, but what's the last one?
honestly, I could not tell you. I'm not looking
It's
at it.
mathematical.
That makes sense. It was like a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
But mathematical.
We went back and forth on whether or not Tops Blueby should be top, but
Yeah.
mathematical just has to be.
Right, it's probably his, I mean, I would guess his most common catchphrase.
Besides Adventure Time, I would
Right.
think. Like, even, they don't even say Adventure Time that often.
Honestly, I think the only person to say it in the episode was Jake.
Maybe.
He did. I know he
Well,
did.
in this episode,
Yeah.
yes.
In this episode. I think because he said, what time is it? And he says, Adventure Time? It's like, no, idiot. It's time for Dodge Socks.
So, on that scale,
Uh-huh.
what would you rate your Mr. Cupcakes?
Okay, can we have categories like appearance, taste?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appearance, unacceptable.
I don't know. I feel like appearance-wise, it has some sort of charm.
Tag yourself.
We're gonna take a picture.
Which
of
one
each
are you?
It has a sort of charm where it's
Don't. Angela.
It does. Where it's like they're just kind of guys hanging out.
They
you know?
certainly are guys.
They're little dudes.
With the exception of one. I'm looking right at him. And his wrapper's all off kilter. He was a mess from top to bottom. I bet you if you unwrapped him, he looked awful.
No.
Sorry.
So
go
I
on.
would say maybe they're more check please rather
Okay.
than unacceptable as far as appearance goes.
That's
Because
kind of
they
weird.
have some sort of charm to them.
Thanks.
Because they're little dudes.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
Mine is also cursed visually.
Yes, and we'll get to that. But I think taste-wise,
They're pretty good.
I might even, I mean, this is the first episode, so we don't have a lot of reference yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big sweets person in general. I don't like chocolate that much. I will, after we finish, I'm gonna eat maybe a couple of these.
Oh,
Like,
awesome.
genuinely. So,
Yeah.
And, like, I don't want to give myself the pat on the back, but I'm gonna put it at tops, personally.
I think that's a good spot for it. You know, like, obviously there's some room.
For sure. It's
Um,
not the best thing I've ever had. Like,
Yeah.
I think yours is better, just because also it's more in the wheelhouse of things I like. It's sweet, but it's not like
Not overpowering.
not like
sweet.
decadent kind of like dessert sweet.
Yeah.
It's like I'll have this at dinner sweet.
And I feel like we're gonna run into a lot of sweet things in the show, considering there's a whole kingdom made of candy.
God, why did I sign up for it?
You're the one who wanted it to be food.
I
too.
did. I really pitched that. I don't know how that came up. It's like,
Maybe we'll do a whole origin story on that
yeah,
because
because we'll do some digging and yeah, it's great.
We'll go to therapy.
I was
gonna.
I was gonna talk about like the history of the potential names, but we'll save it for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that was crazy.
We should definitely do like a little bonus episode
Yeah.
talking about how we got into
How we came
all
to
of
be.
it. Yeah.
How did you get into podcasting?
I was on a podcast before.
That's true.
So were you. Weren't you? For school?
Well, technically I did, but first, the more notable thing was actually in college. Brag. I had a radio show. It's called Waitlisted. It was back in my school, and the reason I called it Waitlisted was because I was on the wait list, and so I didn't partner up with anybody. I didn't have people because I didn't want to drag anyone into like a partnership that I'm like, well, I might not even get in the class.
Right,
So I was just like, I'll do solo. It'll be kind of funny. And so then I got into class, and so I still called it Waitlisted as a like kind of a yoke. And then I just
Nomage.
yeah, and I started like Instagram DMing people, being like, "Please come on my show. Like, I have a 4-hour slot. Like, please." So I would have people. It was actually normally a 2-hour slot, but I had a couple where they were like 4 hours. But I would just be me in the student radio studio. Sometimes like an hour probably by myself, where I'd just be talking, and then in between I'm playing music while I'm thinking about what to talk about next. Like, But then I started structuring it more, and I actually took this class like 3 times because it was repeatable for credit. It was great.
Really?
It was awesome. I love that like class so much. And
you're just like, all my electives is this. That's it.
Pretty much, because it was so fun. It was 4 units. Like it was like a good
4 units.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah, because I had a whole bunch of like hours like dedicated to the class.
Yeah.
Because of all that stuff, and so
because you had to be on air for 4 hours.
sometimes, but
no potty breaks.
Pretty much, dude. Now their bathroom was weird, but I remember one time I did use one. I'm not going to talk about that. Okay. But actually, the most I had a lot of guests on like who were supporting their local like their school clubs. Like we'd be talking about their PR studio thing that they have. And then I got in like a phone call interview with a professor from Johns Hopkins University.
Oh, okay.
And we were talking about snails.
Why?
Because that's like his fascination.
All right.
Because I did, okay.
We love a hyperfixation.
So I also did newspaper in college, and I reached out to this guy before for interview questions relating to asbestos and blah, blah, blah. It was a really boring article.
Snails carrying asbestos.
No. But then we kept emailing after that, and I was like, hey, I also do a radio show. And so he wanted to come on. I was like, anything you want to talk about? He's like, anything but asbestos. I'm like, me too. And we talked about snails, and it was fucking awesome.
Who would know that years later...
Oh, Jesus. Where is this going?
Who would know that years later you'd be doing a podcast where you're going to be looking for the snail every
single episode.
Except for the first one.
And probably a lot of others when I forget the thing happened.
Do you still know that professor's contact information?
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell him.
I still haven't. Maybe
like,
not.
This is where my life has gone.
This is because of you, and I'm sure of it. Trajectories were changed.
I just want you to know that you had a profound impact on me.
What if he quit school and he's doing like a Gravity Falls podcast?
Like with his kid or something?
No,
just by himself.
with his siblings.
Because they're siblings.
We're cutting that. Fuck. Well, yeah, let's talk about your food now. We kind of derailed there for a bit.
We deviated for sure.
Like a septum.
So, look, again, it just looks slightly cursed.
It looks awful.
It looks maybe moldy. But the buns themselves, before, like, you should see the ones in the pantry.
Okay.
They looked beautiful.
Okay.
Golden, lovely. And then I just threw glaze all over
them. And then you knocked it down at least 2 notches on our scale.
Yeah. I would definitely say that this is hovering around the, like, check please area.
I think so, too.
Just because the bread literally looks like it's moldy.
I will say, the bread looks fantastic. Like, I'm looking at the underside where it's not burnt. It's a perfect brown. And then, like, you can see the middle of it. It's, like, nice and white.
Good crumb.
Nice.
Like,
it's, like, perfectly dense. Mm-hmm. It looks great.
They didn't quite rise as much as I wanted them to.
A little bit kind of spongy now that I'm looking at it. But it's not bad.
Yeah. But, like, with sweet rolls, they have that sort of, like,
density.
Spongy texture.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually a little taller. When they were warm, oh my god, they were so good.
Touching
like,
the sky.
I was like, oh my god. But yeah, they didn't quite rise as much as I wanted. I feel like that might be because I used the plant-based egg.
Maybe.
Because I didn't want to buy more eggs.
Is there any yeast?
There's yeast. There's 2 packets of yeast.
Okay.
But
so
the thing,
usually that's what impacts the rise more, right?
That's a big part of it. But, because I was looking this up on Reddit yesterday when we decided we were going to do
already
the podcast.
Cursed, yeah.
When we decided we were going to do the podcast, we're like, let's record this week, you know? And I was like, okay, but if I'm not using those eggs, because I thought they might be bad, I was like, all right,
chance.
What, could I just use a flax egg? Because I've done that before when baking without eggs. But flax eggs, which you might just
I have no idea what flax eggs are.
Oh, so flax eggs are where you take ground flax seeds, so you make flax
I know
meal.
that, yes.
And then you add water and you like whisk it together. Sorry, shook everything. You whisk it all together, and it's supposed to be like basically a binding replacement for an egg.
It's so flax seeds and water.
Yeah.
Turns egg.
Not literal egg.
It turns egg.
It turns egg. Yes. It's plant egg. Basically what it does is it has the same binding power as eggs do.
Okay.
But
They don't taste like eggs.
No, they have.
Okay, I wanted to know if I could fry one.
No. This is for baking. This is for baking.
Okay.
Except, I was looking on Reddit because I was like, I Googled it first and then I read it.
Link to Reddit. Sure. We've all been there.
We've all been there. Where I was like, could you do a recipe with 3 or more eggs with that? Because it's like,
it's
how far could you stretch it?
Right.
Because this has 4 eggs.
This has 3.
Hey! 3 bad eggs.
3 bad eggs.
So
maybe I won't eat more after this.
Maybe we'll have one more. They baked it out. It should be fine. It's not like we have parasites or anything. And you baked it, right? It's not like it's scrambled and we'll get botulism or something.
I'm gonna call out of work tomorrow.
Preemptively. So I was like, what do I do? Because they were all saying like, oh yeah, it won't rise the same if you're using a flax egg and all that stuff. So someone on that thread recommended that brand of egg
the
replacement.
plant egg, whatever. Eggplant. Not
eggplant.
Parmesan.
The plant-based egg substitute in a little carton. I'm not going to say the brand.
Right.
Sponsor us, bitch.
Unless you pay us.
Pay us, bitch.
So someone recommended that, and I was like, beautiful. And I looked on our grocery store app. And
We're not giving you a goddamn cent.
You know who you are.
You know what you did.
They also gave me, because I order all my stuff on the app and then go pick it up, they gave me 3 packs of chicken thighs. And when I ordered 2 packs and then a separate other thing that they just didn't give me, it was coconut cream, actually. I had ordered coconut cream and they were like, no, you didn't. You just ordered 3 packs of chicken thighs.
Right.
So we have so much chicken, by the by. Anyways, so yeah, they had it. I was like, solid, let's go. I made the recipe the same way otherwise. That's why I didn't try anything with gluten-free stuff, because that has trouble rising too.
Right.
And I haven't had time to experiment, you know? But yeah, so that's where it ended up. But as far as after all of that, I think taste-wise...
Oh, yeah.
Taste-wise, I quite like it.
I like it a lot.
Honestly, even though the glaze looks cursed,
the
taste with it, because there's like pineapple juice in the sweet rolls and stuff, like I feel like it had... Yeah, there is. Did you not know that?
What?
You should know this. It's our family recipe.
I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that I didn't know, but I didn't know.
Yeah, so it has pineapple juice in it. So I think that the lime, and which is mostly what I can taste. I can't really taste the rosemary in this.
Not really, no.
And it
just tastes citrusy, kind of like.
Yeah, because glaze is made. Do you know how glaze is made?
Nope.
The actual kind, the euphemism kind.
What the fuck? I was not thinking about that. God, I would have said, no. Jesus Christ. Yes, I mean, kind of. Don't you boil some sugar with it?
No.
What is that?
Syrup.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't cook.
So glaze is made by mixing a liquid with powdered sugar.
I did actually know that.
Okay. I was like, all right, you frosted a cake before, but whatever.
I didn't make it. It came in a bag.
So, yes, the glaze, I just put lime juice and lime zest, and what I did for the rosemary is I boiled it in water and steeped.
Use the water?
Yeah, I steeped the water with it so it would turn green, you know, and then I poured a little bit of the water in there. I was afraid of it being overpowering, so I didn't do a whole lot, and then powdered sugar.
Right.
So, yeah.
So that's how you got the green color?
Yeah.
You could just use food coloring, dog. I know you have food coloring in there.
I do have food coloring, but I don't like to use it.
Why?
Because I don't trust it.
But, oh, God, you're one of those. You didn't get vaccinated either, huh?
I did. I did. So today, the FDA just banned Red 3. And it's been banned from cosmetics for 25 years.
Interesting.
But they've been letting us eat it.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Sure.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
I don't even know what Red 3, like, I know what Red 40 is.
Well, yeah, they're red. They're different red dyes.
Yeah, I know, but I know that Red 40 specifically people are, like, weird about.
Yeah, because
People have
that
like
one's
weird
like
sensitivities too. Also,
like really bad ones,
Yeah.
and like most countries have banned it.
I don't think we have yet, have we?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think it's.
Of course it is. Yeah. So.
I mean, I think they're in generic cinnamon candy. Pay us, bitch.
Pay us, bitch. So taste-wise, with the rolls, I don't know. I would say this is like right around tops. What do you think?
Oh, for taste?
Yeah.
You're being modest. I put my freaking disaster cupcakes at tops. This is gonna be our first. Do you have a gavel?
I used to.
I know you did. That's what I was wondering.
But no, not since not since I was a child. Do I have a gavel?
What's something I can smack?
You want to use the little fairy house thing? You could just do the bottom. Nope. There you go.
Let this be known as our first mathematical.
Yeah.
Congratulations. How does it feel? I kind of knew this was going to happen. Maybe not in the first week, but I knew you were going to get the first mathematical. So how does it feel?
It feels great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Do you feel God in this
Big preach.
10 by 10?
I feel God in this guest room.
This is my room, actually. So...
And you're a guest.
Lore. Fuck you. Here's more lore. We are recording this at your house.
Yes.
In the guest room, as it's legally titled. But,
Fergus, my dog, claims it as his room too.
right. But that's fine. We can share. But it's...
You guys can snuggle.
Yeah, I allow... When she has company, I allow them to sleep in my room. So... But I don't actually live here, let's be abundantly clear.
Yeah, we kick you out of your room when company comes over.
I sleep on an air mattress outside.
At least we gave you an air mattress.
In the hammock.
Air mattress on the hammock?
That sounds crazy.
That sounds so unstable.
We should...
No.
No. Savvy, you don't even know what I was going to say.
Put the air mattress on some water.
We should probably wrap this up because we have nothing left to offer these people. We're holding them hostage.
Put the likes in the bag.
Put the fucking... Put the views and listens in the bag!
This is probably a bad thing to joke about with you, huh?
Yeah, I work at bank.
But yes.
Not a fucking cent.
You don't live here, but you lived here for a month.
I lived here for a very brief while.
3 years ago.
And it's been mine ever since. Yeah. Well, that just about does it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Did you have fun today?
I had fun. I thought it was pretty good to, sit here and make food and
Be siblings.
be siblings, talk about our favorite show, basically.
Yeah, I'd say all time it ranks pretty dang high.
Pretty dang high.
Yeah, well,
I've never made a podcast for any other TV show.
That's true. Neither have I. Well, in case you forgot, because we don't say it to each other, when we're just talking, but I am Seth.
And I'm Savvy.
And this has been Dude Don't Just Lick Stuff.
You can follow us on Instagram at DDJLS Podcast.
Yeah, you nailed it. And you can email us, and it's going to be ddjlspodcast@gmail.com.
There you go. There you go. We also have a YouTube.
Sorta.
Yeah, I mean...
really haven't even looked at it yet.
So we do have a YouTube.
Okay, I believe you.
The episode will be posted there.
Okay.
Some of you might be listening to it on our YouTube.
Hey, guys.
Which is, the is at DDJLS Podcast. But the channel...
At gmail.com.
No. The channel is called Dude Don't Just Lick Stuff.
So find us there. All the art, I'm not going to brag too hard about it, but...
Seth just choked on his own spit.
I did all the art, and I was really proud of it.
And then you punctuated it.
It kind of looks like us.
It does. It's super cute.
Yeah, so...
And you probably did the music. Insert outro here.
Ring, ring.
Okay.
You don't know that in Act 3 of Baldur's Gate 3, some of this audience will know.
Our mom won't.
She won't.
I just like to think of our audience and then like mom.
Mom listening to a ham radio.
Well, because like we've referenced her several times in
Right.
this, being like, "Oh, she'll know this," and then like our 2 audience members, one of them's our mom.
Other one is dad.
I just think it's really funny to be like to base what the general audience will know
Right.
off of what mom will know.
Also, what's funny is I don't even think your husband will listen to this because he's hearing it right now.
Through the walls. Thank you.
Yeah, he's
jingle
jingling. This is making the blooper.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Goose.
Bye, guys. Be good boy. Bye-bye.
Go and get. Good boy. Oh.
No, Fergus, go. Fergus, please, no. Jake dragging him away.
So when I...
So why not?
You can DM us at DDJLS Podcast.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
And Don't Just Lick Stuff on YouTube if you want to leave a comment there.
If we're on YouTube, we probably will be.
We have a channel
Do we?
already.
Yeah.
Also,
Hit up our Google Drive. Please don't.
Also, the @ should also be DDJLS Podcast
Right.
for YouTube. But
Okay.
the
We're going to work on the socials.
the title is Don't Just Lick Stuff.
Right. And
Just the @ if you're looking for that,
we're going to cut that part.
Yeah, it's fine. You can DM us.